showtime.
It's about that time.
Let's go.
You're right where you need to be. This is GCOM Radio.
Hardest radio station on the planet. Yeah.
Powered by Lyfeblood.com.
We certified.
And hosted by Nova Phoenix.
Give them that flavor.
Brian Little.
All right, let's get the show on a roll. Let's go. What is going on, everybody? What is the deal? Yo, I'm here. Oh, what's going on, folks, man? I'm punching out another show. Hopefully, I can get this to you guys on time. What is on time anyway, man? I do this either Wednesday or Thursday. Man, I am stuffed up. And I can hear it on the mic. Man, I don't know, man. It's the AC. I've been running the AC, and, you know, I'm like my dad, man. I'm sensitive to chemicals, I think, because I can do AC, but if I'm in the cold, in the AC cold too much, my sinuses get messed up, and I think, as you can hear, you know, it's all, I got a little small cough. I'm telling you, it's from the AC. I know it's from the AC, and that thing's got my sinuses all messed up. So excuse all the stuffiness. But yeah, what is Wednesday or Thursday? I just drop a show. I put it out. I do as best as I can. I remember early on when I was just reading up on what's the best way, I guess, if you want to call it podcast etiquette or something, you always want to drop a show religiously on the day, because that way that the people that really do listen to you know that it's dropping that day. You just want to be consistent with it, so people can tune in every month. And if you're not consistent, like doing like a show here and then wait 3 weeks and do another show and then wait a month, you're being inconsistent. And I think more or less I've been pretty consistent with doing GCOM Radio every week. Of course, I've always shouted out if I got to be off the radar because I got to do something or I'm on vacation, especially towards the end of the, I see other people continue to do their show at the end of the year, like in December. I don't even feel like doing that because I got to catch a break. If I'm doing a show consistently 98% of the time for that year, I need to take a break. And then the best time is to take that month off. I'll take like a month and a half. First week I'm out of December. No, second week I'm out of December, and I'll come back like the second week of January or something like that. So a month and a week, month and 2 weeks. But other than that, I'm pretty consistent. But so if you guys don't hear a show from me in a while, you just got to go to the last one and listen to it. For those that are really not GCOM Radio listeners religiously, you pretty much find out if I haven't dropped something, it's for a reason. But other than that, anything outside of the norm, I'm always going to drop a show to you guys now and forever. As long as I got breath in my body, this is what I'm going to be doing. So I don't know. My week has been pretty good. No complaints. Things are going as they are. Spending money, paying bills and trying to map out life and everything like that, and watching what's going on TV, trying to see what's the next steps for LyfebloodDAO, and looking into, a lot of other potential ventures, and, getting a financial analyst. I don't think I talked to you guys about that, getting a financial analyst, and I got to hit this dude soon. And he left me a message. I do have to hit him back because I'm trying to see, trying to do this right. I always said before on the show, some people win a lot of money, man. People win a lot of money and they just throw it all away, and they end up broke again. I am not in a position where I'll win the lottery. There was one guy that said he'd win the lottery. I don't know how much is true. He won $2 billion. I don't know, probably 2 winnings ago or something like that. And the guy, I think he's from California, and it was a small little article online. They said he spent it was on Twitter. I think Pomp, one of the famous Web3 social media influencers or whatever influencer you want to talk about, posted it, and you talk about the last guy, I guess 2 winnings ago, that won $2 billion, bought 3 houses, $45 million a piece, is some crazy exorbitant number. And people do stupid things like that, and I'm like, well, is it stupid? He's putting his money in property. How bad can that be? But it all depends on what the real estate market is like. But I understand as far as spending your money stupidly when people happen to get a lot of money in their hands out of nowhere. I don't have a lot of money, but what I can say is if I'm working my way towards getting money in my hand, whatever I do have, I want to do it wisely, and I'm not playing about that. I said it on the show before, if I ever get money, I'm going to do it right. Well, you know what? I'm going to do it right even without a whole lot of money. And I think a financial advisor is great that can put you in the right direction as far as your retirement, as far as any connections they have with money managers and investments, dealing with taxes and all those things. I think it's highly important when you are in a certain space of having a little nest egg, a little money, that you do it right. And I think getting a financial advisor is the right deal. One guy that I am dealing with, I have to give a shout out to. I had no idea that he was going to actually reach out to me. And I reach out to anybody on IG or Twitter or social media and see what they're going to do. And if Jay Morrison, the guru, the financial guru that talks about business a lot, shout out to him, because I reached out to Jay Morrison. I follow him on IG, and he has a lot of gems to share when it comes to business. And I reached out, and he hit me back. And he said, "Hey, talk to this guy, and you say, I hooked you up." And yeah, I appreciate Jay Morrison. Big shout out to Jay Morrison and for setting up that connect. But I'm talking to a few financial advisors, and I'm going to make a choice soon on where I'm going to go with that. So I encourage anybody that's in that position to get a financial advisor. Be smart with your money, strategize, see where you can put it, and pretty much set your life up, because of course we're not getting any younger. And it's important that we get all our ducks in a row. You know what I mean? So, all right, let's start the show. My name is Noah Phoenix on GCOM Radio on iHeartRadio. And the first thing I'm going to say to get this thing started out is shout out to Shay, man. Shout out to Shannon Sharpe. He did his first gig with First Take with Stephen A. Smith the other week. And, big shout out to him, man. He's really doing his thing. And, Skip Bayless, he definitely came back, because of course it was a big thing for Shannon Sharpe to part ways with Skip Bayless in his show. I forgot what Skip on Undisputed, and Skip Bayless did not miss any steps, man. Skip did not miss any steps. He's like, look, of course everybody knows that Shannon Sharpe ended up on First Take with Stephen A. Smith, and that Skip was not trying to lose any momentum, and he got Lil Wayne to do the intro. He got, I forgot the cats that he was on the show, but they got I forgot who was on the show. It's some famous ex-footballers, 3 other guys that he got on the show, and pretty much to say that Skip is not stupid. He know what he had, and he knew what he was losing with Shannon Sharpe. Shannon Sharpe was a diamond in the rough. Or not even so much a diamond in the rough, but he was a pleasant surprise in terms of numbers. I underestimated Shannon Sharpe I remember when he first got on Skip Bayless Undisputed, and I wasn't sure. I was like, who is this other dude? I'm not gonna front. It's the way he came off. I wasn't sure if he was gonna really do it up the way he did it, but Shannon Sharpe is he's a sharp man. He's on it. Not only is he smart, but he's very dedicated to the culture and to his people on the topics that that have spoken on Undisputed, and big ups to Shannon. And I gotta say, Noah, when you basically are 10 toes down in how you want to represent your culture and your folks and your people, of course there's always going to be people on the opposing side, the bigots, of course, and not the ones that are, say, the KKK people, but the ones in suits and ties that are not going to appreciate where Shannon Sharpe is coming from. So I always knew it is what it is. But what saved Shannon Sharpe, I don't know if this is what he was thinking about doing, but what saved Shannon Sharpe was Shannon was doing stuff on the outside. He has, of course, his YouTube channel with with Club Shay Shay, and he was getting all these celebrities on his show. Of course, he was using his resources and his own celebrity. And, you know, I'm a watcher of Club Shay Shay, and it was because of his hustle outside of Skip Bayless's Undisputed is what really kind of kept his value up. If he allowed the network to shape the narrative of who Shannon Sharpe was or who Shannon Sharpe is, then I think, and if he took a break and rested on the fact of him being an ex-footballer, I don't think he would have been as strong or had the seamless transition to go on Stephen A. Smith's show, First Take, if he didn't have the show, man. So, you know, big ups to Shannon Sharpe for keeping his business acumen up, keeping it facing forward. And look at where Shannon Sharpe is now. Hopefully he don't stop. I saw a little snippet piece with Stephen A. Smith on Club Shay Shay, and then just talking about the business. That's what's up, man. I love it. It makes me want to tune in. I'm not gonna be real. I was never. I'm not a big sports watcher. You know, I got friends that they cannot miss one single minute of sports. Whether it's baseball or football or basketball. I'm not a big sports watcher, but I still stay tuned in to the politics or current events of what's happening with players. I think this year is going to be probably the first year that I'm actually going to take the time out to watch football. I haven't watched football in gazillions of years, and this is even before Colin Kaepernick with the whole situation. I just stay focused. And of course, when the Colin Kaepernick thing, that kind of I was like, man, this is, some bullshit. So, but I think it's the first time where I'm going to take the time out to really watch football again, like I did years ago. And I've always been a fan of football because I've always pictured myself. I'm not a small guy. I'm kind of like a husky guy. So, people always tell, how come you ain't play junior varsity or varsity in high school in football? Never did. I was more into martial arts and everything like that. But, it's all good. But, yeah, man, I'm going to take a time out to watch some football and see where the new players are coming, the rookies, and what colleges they come from, and, who's got promise, who's going to be the next Michael Vick, who's to be the next Joe Namath or whatever the case may be. Yeah, man. So, like I said, big shout out to Shannon Sharpe, man. He's doing his thing, and I'm definitely going to tune in to all what he does and with Stephen A. Smith. And I even had issues with Stephen A. Smith on some of his viewpoints on things, but at the end of the day, he's a brother that's trying to, get a check and take care of himself and his family. So it is what it is. Shout out to Coco Gauff. If I hopefully I'm pronouncing her name right. The other day, earlier or last week, I guess, or something like that. She won over Arya Sabalenka in the U.S. Open at the Arthur Ashe Stadium. At ESPN.com actually said Gauff is the youngest American to win the U.S. Open since Serena Williams in 1999, and the first American player to win a major title since Sophia Kenin at the Australian Open in 2020. They also said that she became the first woman to win the title in New York after dropping the first set in 3 matches during her title run since Williams, also in 1999. So, Coco Gauff is, I didn't realize that she was so young, man. She's 19. She has a whole career ahead of her. I don't like how they did Arya. She was... there was some footage of her going backstage, not even backstage, but in the locker room. I didn't even know they had cameras in the locker room. Why the fuck was it? Why was it there? I had no idea. Maybe to catch what Sabalenka, what her vibe was going to be afterwards. Of course, she was tight. She broke up her tennis racket. But they was trying to, some journalist, sports journalist was, supporting her and everything like that. And I don't understand what, again, I don't get, why they were taping a private moment. Anybody that's passionate about the game, that loves the game of tennis, that takes a loss, they're going to be tight. Of course, if I was in Arya's position, I'd be tight too. I took a loss, but it comes with the game. You're gonna have your winners and you're gonna have your losers, and great players, and great players are gonna take L's, and that's just what it is. And Arya was expressing herself. I don't see any problems with it, and I wouldn't bash her. Of course, there were people on Twitter, or say X, formerly known as Twitter, that was giving a business. But again, I don't know. Those are bots. But shout out to Coco Golf one more time. Okay, so again in sports, I'm sticking in sports. Sean Strickland, the MMA fighter, took a definitive win against Adesanya. And I saw the highlights. I didn't see the full fight. Again, I'm going to be more involved. I don't talk about sports a lot on the show, but I should, and I want to, even though I'm not like a sports analyst, sports buff. It's just good to talk about sports and all that. But I was thinking about getting someone on the show in the future when I do have extra space to get someone that's into sports and can talk about it and really take over where my weakness is in terms of content, providing it for the people. And I thought having someone that we could have a segment on sports and just talk and let that person speak, and I can chime in when I want. But it's if anybody ever wondered, it's not something that I do talk about a lot on the show, very rarely, because I just don't take the time to watch it to give you guys a full breakdown. But I can say this, as far as a person that loves watching MMA, I didn't see the fight, but Adesanya took a loss. I'm going to say personally, I don't understand from the highlights that I did see, not to take anything away from Sean Strickland. And as you know, in MMA, you could have a hot winning streak and then take an L, and that's just, fighting. You can have a great run, and then all of a sudden shit happens and you take the L. I just, watching what I did see with Adesanya, I don't understand. It just didn't look typically characteristic of Adesanya, the way he was fighting. I don't understand why he was fighting the way that he did. I don't understand. It just looked like he was taking shots. It was one point where Strickland did get a good shot in on him, and they were against the fence, and he had his back to Strickland. And Strickland, of course, as any fighter, when you got an in, it's like blood in the water, and sharks are gonna go for it. And Strickland came in and started railing on Adesanya, just throwing, raining down the blows on him. And Adesanya was just standing there. And anybody that knows his boxing, you never have your back to your fighter. You never have the back to your fighter, no matter what. You get in that position, and you never have your back to the fighter, because that's just you're coming from a weak position. You can't defend yourself properly. And even though Adesanya was having his head raised, it was just like he was taking shots unnecessarily. I'm like, move, bro, move. Why are you just standing there? I did not understand that. And also from an MMA point of view, if you have your back to your fighter, he could put you in a lock. There's so many things he could do to you on the like throwing you to the ground. He could have, I just don't understand why Adesanya was just taking the shots the way he did. Like he was almost like he was throwing the fight. I don't know, man. How can you be so fierce? Who did he fight again? Let me see. Adesanya fights. I can't remember that. He was another loudmouth dude. That Adesanya, who did he fight? Let me see if I could go down. Who's that loudmouth dude that was like, no, I'm mixing it up. I'm mixing it up, man. I'm not speaking of Adesanya. I'll mix it up between him and what's his name? Let me see. Ranking. Oh my God, I'm just stuffed. I don't know where. It's just, oh my God, I hate having colds. I hate when I'm just stuffed up, man, and breathing through my mouth. I hate that, man. I can't. Oh, it's annoying. And it's so early too, man. Like, why am I so early in the season? I shouldn't even be. That's why I said it was the AC, man. It's the AC. What's it? I'm mixing up Israel Adesanya with. This is not it. What? I'm not gonna let it go, man. I'm not gonna let it go because I'm thinking of the guy, and you know who I'm talking about. Oh, was even middleweight. It's wild that Israel. Oh, he's number 2, of course. Jesus, what's this guy's name, man? And I've looked up rankings before, and it'd give me like pictures of dudes. What is this dude's name? Oh my God, Black. I'm gonna look one more. I'll look one more time and see if I could find. No, that's not him. Where's this fucking guy? Oh, I mixed him up. Oh, here we go. Kamaru Usman. That's who I'm mixing him up with. And Kamaru Usman fought that. Kamaru Usman fights. Let me see. Fought Covington. Covington, as much of a loudmouth that Covington is, of course, I know he's probably trying to sell a fight. He's a good fighter because I saw that fight with Usman and Covington, and that was I was like, oh snap, good. Covington kind of backs up, all his shit talking with his hands. He's nice. Do not sleep on Covington, man. My man is definitely a skilled fighter, man. So yeah, I just don't understand what happened with Adesanya. He just didn't look like he was going 100% from the little clips. I'm gonna see if I can find the full fight and watch it, and then see where it's coming from. But yeah, there you go, Sean Strickland, the winner. The other thing that was crazy is that Strickland was talking a lot of shit when he was afterwards, when he was doing the talk, the interview post fight. And he was saying a lot of, I guess the interviewer was asking him how to get America straight, and he was blaming women. I'm like, yo, my man Strickland talking shit like that? They should be back in the kitchen. One man should be working, and they should raise wages and build the wall. And I'm like, wait, what? Yo, he talking smack? Oh, snap. I don't know how much that was just trolling for the cameras, and how much of that is what he really think. But yeah, even one of the interviewers, journalists in the crowd was like, I don't remember word for word what that journalist said, but he pretty much was like, are you okay? Are you taking your pills? And Sean was just eating it up. He was just like, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know, man. Anyway, let's see what Adesanya comes with next. Even the greatest fighters takes L, so it's no big deal. Yeah. So the other situation that I want to call attention to going out of sports, just recent situation that happened in the UK, man. A British black woman was choked while she was in a hair shop. The hair shop was called Peckham Hair and Cosmetics. And of course, a lot of black Brits were protesting outside the store. She got choked out. See, now the cops eventually came when it jumped off, and the cops were told that she was stealing or something or other and were trying to leave the store. But actually, the person who filmed it, of course, the journalists that were on the scene, the person who filmed this woman getting choked, said that she was trying to get a refund, and the store. It was actually the store owner, by the way, who choked her. The guy's name is, let me see if I wrote it down. I did not write the guy's name down. Let me see if I still got this up here. The man's name is D. Let's see. It says everyone's in the beer in London. Incident. The video apparently shows a man physically. Oh, see, my throat is so dry, man. Yo, I really thought I wrote this guy's name down. Sorry for just being ill prepared, folks. My bad. I write my notes down. And I saw the name of the guy when I was reading up on his story after seeing it on Twitter, and I thought I wrote it down. Store owner, and somewhere in this article, 31 was on the man video. I'm sorry, guys. My throat is dry, man. I don't know why my throat is dry. Could you give me a second? I'll be right back. I gotta get something to drink. All right. Okay. Let me see if I could just go back and just do a quick search. Peckham store owner. There you go. I'll just go out the article. Name is Sohail Sindo. So the owner was the guy that was choking this woman, and they said that the officers were told that she was stealing. The person that was recording, some 18-year-old person, individual, I don't know, let's just say, I don't know the name of that individual, but it was an 18-year-old that said that the woman came in to get a refund, and the store doesn't do any refunds. So I guess there was a little exchange of words, and then the woman said, then I'll just go back. If you're not going to give me my refund, I want to get what I'm supposed to get for my money. So, and then she went, and then I guess the guy was trying to stop her or whatever the case may be, and that's when it jumped off. Now, no black woman, no situation. No situation should occur where a man should choke out a woman at all whatsoever. And of course, the people in the neighborhood responded. They protested in front of the store to the point where they want the store to close. They want the store to close, and hopefully it does, man. Hopefully it does, because you can't, it's wild and crazy where the people that keep your lights on, that you would treat so badly, to the point where you would choke them out. So that means you don't really care about the people who spend the money that's giving you a living. So your store should be shut down. This guy's store should be shut down right away. In no way. And the wild part is the black woman got arrested and he's still free. Now, I saw some video. Of course, you're going to get a lot of the story also on Twitter, and a number of different people doing interviews with the gentleman. They were doing interviews of the store owner in the store. He said he couldn't even open the store anymore. The protest was that real. And of course, they walked through the darkness with the lights off in the store to the front, and people were outside protesting. Hey, man, it is what it is. Now, I'm going to be honest here. I do not understand this. What you buy is you're a consumer. Wherever you want to go to purchase your items, regardless who you want to purchase it from, so be it, right? I have no problems with this. Go wherever you want to wherever you want to go to buy something. As a seller, go wherever you want, whether to sell something. And that's just this is a capitalist country, or capitalism, not just in this country, but around the world. It's your prerogative what you want to do as buyer or seller, store owner or consumer. But the thing is, which I cannot understand, what I'm going to say in this situation, and even the same situations that jump off down in America, I don't know why there are people that are non-black selling black products, hair products, to black people, and particularly black women, black women. I don't understand it. Where did this occur? How did this trend happen? Who are the players that have allowed this situation to happen, where you are selling black products, hair products, beauty supply products, got the black woman face on it and everything, and it's marketed as such to black people? I do not understand it. You're gonna be like, yo, no, what you talking about? Oh my God, that's kind of like reverse racism, is it? No. Think about it. You could go to any place in Chinatown. It's Chinese owned. Anywhere in Chinatown, whether you're on Chinatown in Philly, you're going to Chinatown in New York, you're going to Chinatown wherever, it is Chinese owned by Chinese folks that's selling to other Chinese people. Now, if you want to go as a non-Chinese person and buy in there, that's your prerogative. Of course, you go where you want, because there's a particular product that you can only get from that particular store. Fine, you do what you do. I've done it myself. Everybody has done it. This is just business, right? You go where you go. But if there's ever a situation where you feel you're not being respected as a consumer, you do not have to buy there. And I say, if you go to any Chinatown, go to a black-owned place in Chinatown. Does that happen? Is there a black-owned store that sells Chinese products to Chinese people? It does not exist. It doesn't exist. If there's a Japanese community, do you see black-owned people selling Japanese products with the language, with Japanese language on it and everything, selling it to Japanese people. No, Japanese people gonna be like, huh? Nah, I'll just buy it from my own people. It's what we do as people, as human beings. You want to support the people that look like you, right? And for that comes from your community. And that goes for a range of different people, for whatever, right? We know I'm going to say this again, in the grand scheme of things of business, you're going to go where you want to buy, you're going to go where you want to sell. But this is a trend in the black community, unfortunately, also in the UK, where there are non-black people selling black products. I'm going to use that word loosely. I'm going to tell you why later. To black people. And then when something happens where black people are not respected, something happens where they are treated with less value. Regardless if you buy, they're not with less value. How is it? And I'm not even blaming so much so. I'm not even blaming so much of the non-black people opening stores that's selling black products to black people. Because you know why? Because black people always go in there and they buy from them. Why is it not the case where there, and it's not like it's not a situation where black people don't own anything. And granted, there is bias and discrimination when it comes to business loans, and you want to open up certain business. Yes, that exists. That is documented. It is a true thing. It is an historical fact. Besides the fact, it's an historical fact. Black people have been disenfranchised from their own communities, right? Things have changed, granted. But I do not understand why there are black people with today in the year 2023 that have money and no one has opened up a black beauty supply store yet. New York City has 8 million people living in New York City. There are approximately 2 million black people that live in New York City. How is it that there's not a plethora of beauty supply stores, at least one each? Now, I'm not saying there's none at all. There are probably some that I have not seen. At least one, a famous store that you can say, hey, I need to buy black products, black beauty supply store so I can support my folks, blah, 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 blah. And there should be a famous name. You could, go to such and such, go to Susie's in the Bronx or whatever. Go there, regardless of, you could go there and buy your products. There's not one famous joint in each borough where we can confidently say that is black owned. It is a struggle. I looked for it before. It is barely nothing. How, Sway? How in 2023 there are not black owned beauty supply stores and that I could run off, good and bad? That's how real. I don't care if it could be a mixture of good and bad. Yeah, there's about 4 that was okay. There's 3 that's a little better than that. But there are two joints that are really hot in the Bronx. You could go there. Yeah, you can get whatever you want, girl. With the sisters talking to each other. But also in Brooklyn. And how is that? I don't get it. How come there's no major? And I'm not putting the pressure on Nicki Minaj, but how is it that Nicki Minaj, she from Queens? Now, of course, these raps say 50 Cent, they're only getting into multi-million dollar deals. But if this is a conversation that has happened amongst your folk with the other women that they're around, and you see a black woman in the space or in the orbit of 50 Cent, just throw a bone. 50 Cent be like, you know what? Run that business. I'm gonna make probably a couple $100,000. It's not like one of my other big multi-million dollar deals, but at least the sisters got something. Yeah, go ahead. I'll throw $150,000, $200,000. I'll set this thing up where we gonna get the the warehouse to get the products. Make sure that black people that are selling these black beauty supply products, it gets in the eye. Cool, and you don't even think about it. How is it that this is not happening? Why do you have so many rich rappers in whatever respective city, and this is a conversation that ain't new, and everybody's got stacks. Oh my God. And you know what hurt my heart? Seeing videos of Sexy Red, and she's made it a thing where she's holding the money stack. You know how she's holding the money stack in order to take these pictures with other famous people, and she's throwing up the money stack. Yo, son, it is so upsetting that you're willing to hold up this money stack for these stupid ass fucking photo ops, and not one female is gonna be like, you know, I'm gonna take this money stack and just open up my first beauty supply store right there in the heart of Queens, or in Brooklyn, or in Long Island, or Staten Island, or the Bronx, or Harlem. What? I blame us. There's a certain part of the system that is involved with that. But at the end of the day, if you have someone like Oprah, you know, Oprah Winfrey she's so galactically outside of this conversation. You get somebody, I don't know, pick anybody that's making a decent amount of money in hip hop, in urban music, in entertainment, Hollywood, and sports athletics, or let's even think about outside of the norm, real estate, trucking. Like, I've seen some famous people, you know, again, Jay Morrison, he highlights a lot of black folks that are founders and have become very successful, making millions and millions of dollars. You mean not one was like, yo, I'm just gonna open up a black beauty supply store in my area? And that also goes for supermarket chains. Son, yo, I don't know. You know what? I don't know any of these people, but me, if I got $50 million, $20 million, I just made a $20 million deal, and I had a moment just to sit down and just like chill. And then, you know, you catch one of those stories on the IG, and you like, oh wow, why isn't that? The next day I'll be like, all right, who do I know who I can trust to start? Go ahead, here's $500,000. Go start it. Let's see what we can do with it. Let's see if we can make it a chain. Son, how is this? Oh my God. Yo, and I think also a good part of it is you're making so much money in the area that you're in the market that you have chosen, and you live in such the high life, you start, I think the individualism starts setting in, and go getting the bag becomes something that is your only sole interest for yourself, that everything else doesn't matter. And these folks start thinking, well, I'm getting money anyway, so I don't really care. And they get trapped in their bubble. They get trapped in their bubble of financial privilege and celebrity, and they just don't care. Let's keep it real. Black people that have made it, I'm not going to say all, most black people in entertainment or wherever they have made money, I'm talking about, let's not talk about the unknown that you've seen on Jay Morrison's IG page. I'm talking about the well-known black celebrities that are very rich. They don't care. They don't care. Their life is so comfortable, so good, and they have broken that mold. They've jumped over that hurdle. They have finally reached a space of success, financial success, and comfort that none of these things is really of a concern for them. And that's why the black community is the way that it is today. And it shouldn't be. Now, I'm not talking about when as soon as you become rich, you have this almost this burden on your shoulders where now you have to give back and be like, see, you never get back. I'm talking about just in the strictly line of business. There's a lot of business people that make money, whether this is a multi-million-dollar deal, this is another multi-million-dollar deal, doesn't make a lot of money, but you know, this is $2 million, that's $8 million. Damn, that's a $50 million job. And then there's other things that you do. Now, athletes blow more money on gambling than you can believe. That they could take that same money that they just spent in gambling, 150 grand for the weekend, and they could put that into a business they could flip that into $1 million revenue business or $750,000 business. If they so wanted to, they could turn it into a chain. I don't understand. I don't get it. But that's just what it is. Hopefully the sister down in Britain, it's funny, they don't mention her name. They don't mention her name, and that happened in London. That jumped off at the Peckham Hair and Cosmetics. They don't mention her name, but I hope people can look that up. And I definitely believe that she should get justice. The store should get shut down. I've heard that it's been known that I've read in the articles that it sells illegal products, skin bleaching products, and things of that nature. And look, if black people really want independence in Britain, and it's been a thing where they are not buying their own black beauty products for black women, for black folk, take this as an opportunity to do something different. You know what I mean? Take this as an opportunity. So that's my thing. Do what's necessary. The other situation that jumped off, unfortunately, in Seattle, there was a video footage that came out of a cop having a conversation, and it's really messed up. It was released, the chest cam footage of a cop named Kevin Dave. Officer Kevin Dave, I think that's the name of the individual. Officer Kevin Dave, I'm going to make sure, Officer Daniel Auderer, I think his name. Sorry for butchering the name. Auderer. So this cop's chest cam camera was recording him speaking, and it turns out that Officer Daniel Auderer was a Seattle Police Officers Guild vice president. He was talking to the guild president about one of his colleague cops, Officer Kevin Dave, who killed and ran over an Indian woman in Seattle in January 2023. Oh, well, I got that year right. Happened on January 23rd. And what really got people disgusted was he was being flippant about this woman dying. He was joking about her death. He was laughing about it. And he just had a general disregard for her life and said, at least they could just pay out, they should just write a check. And he was laughing. He said, quote, yeah, just write a check, $11,000, unquote. And these are your police officers, man. These are the folks that are serving and protecting. And it's a problem, as we always say. We have a problem of psychopaths and sociopaths that has a shield on, and they're expected to protect you. They're expected to protect you. And you hear this noise come out where he was treating her like she was some sort of like a piece of paper, like she was some... it's just animal. Like, oh yeah, well he ran her over, and so and I'm like, wow, that's crazy. Now I don't think there's going to be a situation where he's going to get reprimanded severely. No, they're going to probably give a lot of lip service, and when the journalists come and they ask him questions, what happened to him? He's like, oh, we spoke to him, gave him training, quote unquote. And then things are going to move on as usual. And the wild thing about it is this guy is making a lot of money. He's had issues in the past with the public, and they've paid out every time. And this is what, people of color, this is what black people got to deal with. Now, this woman, her family is never going to see this woman again. Never. Her name is Janavi Kandula. Janavi, Jahnavi, Kandula, Kandula. They're never going to see her again, never going to hug her again, never do those personal loving things with their family member ever again. Their friends are never going to see her again. The precious thing we call life, and this man can laugh about it and be like, and acting like it was like a dirty pair of socks. And this is why people have to protect their own neighborhoods, man. This is why people got to serve and protect their own neighborhoods. And that's why you got to have proper regulation on how these police departments or enforcing the law on the federal level when you're dealing with police departments across America and dealing with white supremacy, dealing with bigotry that has settled into police departments and using legal loopholes to enact their own sick way of living against people that have more melanin in their skin than themselves. So it's a wild story to hear this thing happening like that. So condolences to this woman's family. It's wild that we're hearing this now so late in the year. This happened back in January. And, I think this is just one of the tactics of PDs. They just hold on to the foot. Who knows how this thing got out? And the other thing I wanted to mention, I've said on the show before, the system of white supremacy is so deep, so ingrained, so a part of the fabric of American society. Right down, it is seeped down to the bone of American society, where you can talk so recklessly while the chest cam is on and not have to worry about any repercussions. You have police officers, and I said it before, chest cam footage was used because people were tired of the police aggression, police misconduct against black folk, and it was agreed upon that they can use chest cams, and the people, black folk thought, okay, they not that stupid. They got the chest cams on. They are going to correct their behavior. And when it has done the absolute opposite, you have seen video of chest cam footage of cops still doing dirt, racist shit with the cam on. How fucked up is the system where you can have a cop do what they do and not think twice about what they're doing in the moment against some other black person or POC? Any black and brown person. What fucking system? Oh my God, that's so crazy. I'm like, at no point they was like, verbally being heard saying, I don't know if I should do this, or get some verbal cues, not like they would say word for word, but and check themselves. The footage still comes out with cops just being like, fuck it. Oh, yo, that's wild, man. That is wild. And that's why I personally believe that communities got to police themselves, man. Police got to, people in the community got to police themselves, man. The next thing, Department of Energy, man, in terms of technology, the Department of DOE, Department of Energy is providing $400 million loan to a startup that plans to provide an alternative battery to the lithium-ion battery that we all use, of course. The lithium-ion batteries that's in our remote controls, that's in our favorite toys, that's in cars, EV cars. So this alternative is a zinc bromine battery. They say it can provide cheaper energy and more sustainable options to the country. They say it's able to produce like 6 gigawatts of storage capacity by 2026. And they say it's going to have enough power to power over 300,000 homes or 130,000 homes annual electricity requirements. That's amazing. I thought it was going to come small, but it actually comes in think about the size of a construction container. They say it comes in cube hanger or stacked systems. There was actually an interview of the owner saying that there are a lot of different customers. Excuse me. The name, as I said, did I say the name of the company? The name of the company is EOS. Excuse me, EOS. I'm doing terrible today. I don't know what is happening. Between my cold and me forgetting certain key information. EOS Energy Enterprises. That's the name of this new battery company. The owner, I was listening to the owner talking about that their customers are industrial factories, utilities, renewable energy, solar and wind farm companies. I thought it was something more that can be provided for households, like Elon Musk's Tesla battery. But it looks like they only do industrial size or help larger companies try to do energy storage. Of course, they say that the EOS battery is non-flammable and can tolerate wide temperature ranges, so it's not necessary to have AC or fire suppression equipment, which reduces the financial investments in buying these products by 30%. It looks like it's going to be the rival to the Tesla battery. So if they could come out with something that's for homes, that would be fantastic. We'll see how things go in the future with this company. It was just interesting that I found this article. And I'm always open to diversifying new technologies when it comes to energy storage and, of course, energy collection. We need to step in the 21st century where we're thinking about things that's going to save our environment and also be something that everyone can utilize in terms of the usage of energy in our country, so, and around the world. So yeah, the other thing is AllHipHop is doing an event in Delaware. I wanted to, of course, let people know. Let me see if I can look it up. It's a Black cultural event. Matter of fact, it's in my photos. It is a hip hop cultural summit, 50, of course, celebrating the 50th year, this being the 50th year of the existence of hip hop. It's in Delaware. It's at 2301 Kentmere Parkway, Wilmington, Delaware, 19806. Please go to allhiphop.com/50. If I got that correct, it is allhiphop.com/50. You can get all the information as far as being a part of it, attending in whatever capacity, even providing sponsorship support. Of course, the owner of All Hip Hop is going to be Chuck Jigsaw Creekmer. He's definitely going to be there, and I don't know what the itinerary is, but I'm going to definitely be there in some sort of way to help support the event, because it's something that we need so desperately. We just look at my cat while we just can't say it's a culture. We can't just say hip hop culture if we're not going to do the necessary things that's going to thread these different points, different aspects of hip hop into one message where we can respect it as a culture. So I'm interested to see what that itinerary is going to be about and what we were going to cover. So yeah, we'll see about that. If anybody catches the show, it's October 7th. Again, if I didn't mention the date, it's October 7th. The show, the event is going to happen. Excuse me. It's in at Delaware Art Museum at 2301 Kentmere, Kentmere Parkway. So shout out to everyone in the tri-state area in Delaware. Definitely support the efforts what Chuck is trying to do. Hey, last before I get out of here, man, there was actually, it's funny, I read an article, what ancient Egyptians smell like. Interesting. Yo, they said researchers have found, and I found this crazy, and if you know, the business side of me is bottle it somehow and sell it. It would do crazy. So researchers actually found or recreated the scent of embalming fluid that was used to preserve Egyptian royalty. Her name was Senetne, and she was a key member of Pharaoh Amenhotep II. And they said the scent contains beeswax, which protects against bacteria, a vanilla-like scent from plants, a pine-like fragrance from tree resins. They also say there was a less fragrant scent, similar to freshly surfaced road, it's called bitumen. That's used in the mummification process to seal off moisture and insects. They say then, based on the study of the buried pyramids, they say the researchers also discovered that ancient Egyptians were training 1,000 years before they previously thought. They actually found mummies with peppercorns in the nostrils. For what significant burial purpose, I'm not sure, but they're saying peppercorns came from southern India. Amazing. And that the fragrance called damar was also sourced from something called a tree called dipterocarp. I don't know what tree that is. I gotta Google that. It's a dipterocarp tree, which grows in Southeast Asia. So, of course, as we all know, that ancient Egyptians traveled to the landmass that we now know today as the Caribbean and Central America and South America. in North America. We understand that, of course. If you understand, if you read the book of Dr. Ivan Van Sertima and a lot of other scholars, all this information, if they traveled to this landmass here in the Western Hemisphere, of course, they must have traveled to Southeast Asia. How else are they going to get peppercorns to put in the nostrils of the mummies that they buried? But yeah, that's interesting information. But the fragrance as well, there's got to be a way where they can bottle that. It smells pretty good. I don't know what bitumen smells like. That's used for freshly serviced road, but I'm sure they could do a little spin on it. And of course, with the proper marketing, they can say, "Whoa, smell like what ancient Egyptians smell like 2,000 years ago." I think that would be hot. What would you call it? I don't know. I don't know. What would you call a perfume like that? I got to think about it. That would be interesting. I don't know how to market that, but that's crazy. Yeah, anyway, so I'm going to get out of here. Thank you guys for listening to me. I appreciate you tuning in again. Please, if you like the show, you like what I'm talking about, if you could dig the conversation that I'm having with you now on everything under the sun, about business and current events and, dealing with racism or race and bigotry and white supremacy and what goes on in this country and what I try to do other than the typical stuff that I told to you about. If you really just dig the conversation, please go to my YouTube channel, smash the like button, smash the subscribe button, and people are definitely subscribing. I appreciate it. I would have never gotten to this point if people didn't dig it. Follow me on Twitter at LyfebloodDAO. Follow me on IG, Lyfeblood, same thing, DAO. You can also follow me on TikTok on LyfebloodDAO. And I'm across all platforms, and reach out to me, man, if you want to talk about anything, whatever. So yeah, I appreciate you listening to me again, and I'll see you guys next week. Be well, strive for the best, learn from your mistakes. You only got one life, so live it up. All right, I'm out of here. Peace.
Check it.
You just listened to GCOM Radio, powered by LyfebloodDAO for the global community.
We worldwide, baby.
See you in the next go round. From right here to your town, we out.